For joining us on another episode of Potheads Pondering. I'm Lotta with the Bakersmen Collective, and today we have Elijah of EMJ Games, and he's here to talk to us about movement, when cannabis, became an influence on his life and how he uses it to get to moving.
How it can help. How it can help me, for sure.
So let's dive right in. So, I guess the easiest question for me is like, when did you start smoking?
So, right after high school. So I'm like 19, because in high school I was athlete, like doing whatever it takes. I'm waking up in the morning. I'm trying to get to it. So I was like, anything that could potentially, being told by the grown-ups, anything that could potentially hurt me, I'm not touching it yet. It's not until after high school, getting out of systems, being able to like think on your own. That's when it's like, this is low key helpful.
Okay.
So,
like, what was the most helpful thing it's been? Like, how has it helped you?
It's hard when you're in a certain mindset. It's hard to get outside of it. What weed does for me, because it truly is what you make it. You can make it any type of way. But what weed does for me is I'm able to step back from my certain mindset. So that's the biggest thing. You're able to there's
that pause.
Yeah.
Right. Like when the thoughts are racing and you're like, I'm feeling a certain way. Yeah. I feel like it turns everything into an adventure for me. Like whereas like I was maybe dreading what I was getting into unnecessarily, right? Because it's like I can't control the outcome. When I consume cannabis, it's like anything could happen. Right. I'm open to it. Right. So
it's that because you believe it.
Yeah. And the day turns out like by the end of it, wonderful.
Right.
Right. So it's like I go to bed happy.
Yeah. There's really nothing to be. Yeah.
I would say for me, I was smoking in high school, and I quit so that I could graduate. Like I saw my grades slipping, and so I was self-aware enough as a teenager to be like, this might be the weed. Let me put a pause on that and get out of high school with something. So I got a couple of like college credits, but by taking AP classes and focusing, and boom, onto college and out of the town that I was from, and but
how did it change your life? I like that better.
Weed?
Yeah.
Oh man, that the pause was crucial. Looking at the bright side of things, but the people that I met, like it's honestly my career. I used to be
experience.
Yeah, I used to be a veterinary technician, and now I run a cannabis lifestyle brand. Like weed has been such a pivotal role in my life that it's shifted my career path.
That's right.
So, and I'm happy with each day that I wake up as a result of consuming cannabis. And that same happiness rolls into like after I get a good workout in, as it's just this bounce. And so like, when did you start investing in movement, like believing in how that can help people?
Yeah, so as far as like cannabis for movement, at first just smoking, like for me, just having fun, and whenever I'm out, whenever I want to cool down and have my time, just smoking. I didn't really tie it together until about 3 years when I got a little boy, my son turned about 1. Some experience happened and I was like, I need to smoke. And then I was thinking about my habits, and I was thinking about how I tie things together. So I was like, okay, how am I able to transcend this positive feeling I have with smoking into my workouts? And so like, just that like shift of focus made me able to like chime into it,
Find that zone.
Yeah.
That's why I love smoking weed. You zone in and you can hyper focus and just actually be present.
Right. So like, if you're able to like, essentially weed helps me change my perspective. So if you're able to do this workout and feel this muscle, it's like, okay. But when I'm high, I'm like, let me go a little deeper. And there's a study that shows like, if you're able to focus on the muscle that you're working, it actually helps you out better. So
look at that.
If you're with weed, if you're, if you're feeling good, and you're able to like block out your emotions and dive it deep into like the now and like what you working and stuff. It gets deep.
But there's an improvement of your life as a result of it. Like but that's why I think people want to try to say that it's addictive, right? Because like I'm not addicted to weed per se. I'm addicted to who I am when I smoke weed, right? And like the same thing, it's from that high of working out. I'm like, and at the end, visually, what I look like, like I enjoy that me. So I'm gonna do the things to get there, but everything in moderation.
Yeah.
And maybe understanding, like if you worked out all the time, but you were never using correct form, you were never like focusing on a muscle. Are you gonna get the results you're looking for? Probably not.
Probably not.
And so if you're not conscious of how you're using cannabis and why you're using it, then it's probably not going to do what you want it to do.
Get high right.
And that's a series coming.
Yeah. Get high right. Little sleep.
Yeah. Easter eggs for you. I mean, like, if you wanted to share one thing with folks out there about movement, what would it be?
Just movement, or how does it tie into?
No, just
movement.
Yeah, just movement. Like your life.
We were put here to move.
Yeah.
Your body was put here to move, to get you from point A to point B. If you're not working on that, it doesn't matter what you do. No matter what job, whatever you got to pay for, whatever, it don't matter, because you need a body to do that. So put that first.
Like, this is Potheads Pondering. Like, is there questions you've had about weed that you want to talk
Definitely.
about? Definitely.
The strands. Okay, so you spoke to me when we was smoking outside. You was talking about how specific strands can affect specific chemicals in your body, right? Yeah. It's like, essentially, this is like a pre-workout strand, right?
Well, I mean, any workout, back it all the way up, strains or strands, cultivars, chemovars is like the new like sciencey name of calling it. So the different
chemovars,
the varieties of cannabis out there are because of their terpene profile, the ratio of cannabinoids in it, and so because those differ and those are what interacts with your endocannabinoid system, you're going to have a different experience when you consume the product. So can you use a certain strain that reacts with your body to
produce energy?
Produce energy or act as a pre-workout? Yes. Every single time, And I like to choose either sativa-leaning hybrids or something that's like high in limonene brightness, those lemon terps. Yeah.
So sativa or indica?
Personally, depends on my mood.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I like to. I want to try it all. I'm one of those kids,
Yeah.
I'm smoking weed because I want to see what happens when I smoke this weed right now. And sometimes I'm like in this mood and I need to get here, so I'm purposely smoking that strain, right? Yeah. Or consuming it as a edible because I want it to last longer, or consuming it as a tincture because I need to get it in faster and I want to incorporate it with, say, my breakfast, right? So. There's so many different ways that you can use cannabis in your life, just like there's so many different ways you can move. You don't have to be a CrossFit person. You could just be a person who walks every day. Right? Just that simple. And your body would appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. As long as you're up and moving, that's what your body wants to do. It's like freeing.
Right.
When you're not moving, you're dead.
Yeah, we enjoy talking, well, here at T.B.C. and myself, I enjoy talking to people that give me some value or something else that I can add to my wellness toolkit, right? Yeah. So it's like, since 14, I've turned to weed, but it can only get you so far. So then there's like, thank goodness for therapy, right?
Yeah.
Thank goodness for side. Exercise, like all these other things, breath work that get introduced along the way, but I would have never had conversations about them if it wasn't for cannabis, because like that's where it starts. That's how I meet these different people.
So true. For me, it was like staying up late smoking and getting into my journal. You start learning so much just paying attention to your universe. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It gets crazy. So I learned So there's 3 aspects that you should be working on. Your mind, reading, therapy, all that stuff helps with that. Your body, working out, of course, and then your spirit. And that doesn't mean religion. No. It means
it's however spirit. You choose to, embody your spirit.
For me, meditation. So just
I'm trying.
Having that time to just sit. Hey, it's tough to be able to sit with your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's tough.
When they flow.
Hey, it's tough. It's tough. You got to be able to, instead of being in it, because it's easy, that's when you leave. Leave the now, you got to be able to step back and like watch it like a car.
Yeah, just scroll on by and like, it's just like shouting at first. And you're just like,
yeah, like,
oh,
I gotta call. Okay, I gotta get up and get that. I can't do this. I can't just sit here in it. Yeah.
And then you breathe. That's why I learned breath work. Like, then you start taking breaths and you just focus on your body, like the air in and the air out. And slowly you can like dial back how fast the thoughts are moving until it's a point where you're just watching them. And I think in therapy, they call that becoming the observer. And like, I do not reach it often because I have just started, but one of my spiritual gangsters gave me like the cleanest advice. And she said, 15 minutes a day, just set a timer and sit down.
Yeah.
Like, and do it every day. And do it until it becomes so normal, and then you can extend your time. And it's not easy, it's not fun, but do it anyway. So.
Do you listen to audiobooks?
Some podcasts, occasionally an audiobook, but last one I listened to was on like some crazy.
Was it wild?
Yeah, it was wild.
Was it scary wild?
No. It was very educational. It was kind of talking about the beginning of human history and how we've always used like psychedelics and drugs to kind of.
The beginning of human history.
Like,
don't get me started.
Okay, but why'd you bring up audiobooks?
Oh, the power of now. Just to have that playing in the morning, at night, when you're driving, whenever you're feeling a type of way, just little reminders of how to stay in the now.
Power of now.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because that's what it's about.
Right.
Yeah.
It's staying present, and it's like so easy to be distracted. You've got your phone, your scrolls, your work that you could dive into. You've got, everything else, and meanwhile you don't even see that it's snowing outside.
And it's crazy because it all starts from just from you, just being able to like. Be able to like step back from those thoughts.
Right, and
it's literally a muscle when you think about it. Like it's like you put more time into it, you drill it, you get better, you feel better.
Yeah, you create more neural pathways. Like you're changing how your thoughts flow from this negative outlook to this positive outlook. But I think we have like circled the block on this conversation in the best way, man. I know, like you get a couple people high and then put them in a room and we'll see what comes out. Able to drop
ego, able to just speak.
Just be vulnerable, and that is pretty uncomfortable. And I think that's what I thank weed for, because at some point I'm gonna relax enough to just like show you who I am.
It's like you stop caring what other people think.
Yes.
You're just able to like just move the way you feel.
Like you either gonna like it or you're not.
Exactly.
And this has been another episode of Potheads Pondering.